Okay.
Hey bitches. Hey bitches, we're back at it again.
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm
On the
Snuzzi.
phone. Oh, and I'm Abby.
I'm Snuzzi, and this bitch is Abby.
And this is On the Phone with Snoozy and Abby.
Yes, bitch. Anyway, yeah,
Wait,
back
I
to the
have to say something.
what?
You were just talking about like things that you're excited about in life. And guess what I'm excited about?
What?
That I got my car all cleaned out today and vacuumed and the windows all clean. And that's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, just like when you freshly just like get your house clean, like whatever it may be, and you just freshly just got it done, and it's just the most sad, like the most. It's just ready to be lived in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I love that, but I can never grow. I can never like just feel satisfied lately. Like I used to be able to just be like, okay, I'm done with everything, and now I'm satisfied. But now it's like I'm constantly like needing to get something done to where it's like, okay, but you don't have anything else to be done, and then you know what I mean, and then but then blah blah blah, and then this and that, and such and so forth, and that's what they always used to say.
Well, here's the thing about the car. Like, we had this fluid in it in the trunk that like spilled. It like got cold and it spilled or whatever, and it smelled so bad. It smelled like when you leave ketchup out for a while or something. Like it just smelled really bad. I thought it was ketchup because this is a weird. Okay, you're talking about coincidences. This is so weird. Like we had like one of those ketchup packets in the car, and I accidentally stepped on it, and it squirted like everywhere. And I thought that's what the smell was, but I took the mat out and cleaned it out, and the smell was still there. And then we realized it was the shit that spilled in the trunk. So isn't
Wait,
that weird?
hold on a second. What the fuck? I've never heard of the smell of bad ketchup. What?
Oh, well, you know what? When I was a kid, my Aunt Nancy and my mom played a prank on Aunt Nancy's husband because, like, at the time they weren't married, but Aunt Nancy lived with us, and like they were dating, and like he had the sweatiest, nastiest feet, and they played this prank on him by putting ketchup in his shoes, and he put his shoes on, and it like stunk up the whole house so bad, like for weeks, and that's what the car smelled like. So that's why I associated it with ketchup.
Oh, because you said
But anyway,
you said it like like when you leave ketchup out too long, like as if
I
it's just
know.
an everyday, like everyone knows
Well,
that smell. Like no one fucking knows that. What do you? And then come to find, it's just this really unique thing from a unique experience that isn't even the smell of rotting ketchup. It's just the smell of like what the fuck.
well, like I can okay if someone comes out with any kind of condiment on their plate, like ketchup or like A1, there's a certain smell that I guess other people can't smell, but I can smell it and it grosses me out.
What?
And that's what the car smelled like.
Is it like a tomatoey,
It's more like a
vinegary smell?
vinegary kind of smell.
Tomatoey vinegary. You didn't let me
Yeah.
finish.
But like, so we put like baking soda. We sprinkled the whole trunk with baking
That's funny because
soda.
baking soda is kind of that same thing, like ketchup and like A1. You know that.
Well, no, it like absorbs odors and shit.
Well, I mean that.
So,
Oh no, I'm thinking whenever. Okay, that's funny. That's funny because whenever I think of baking soda, I think of the vinegar in baking soda, like volcano thing. So when I think of baking soda, I think of the vinegar smell, which is funny because you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like it's
right.
kind of a funny coincidence because you're also talking about the same type of like shit.
Right. Like a smell associations.
Yeah.
But like anyway, so the baking soda finally got rid of the smell because it was so bad. Like every time we'd get in the car, it was horrible, and the car was a mess. And then I started this cleaning job, and I couldn't put any of my cleaning equipment in the trunk because of all the baking soda. So I had it all shoved in the back, like in the back seat that had a ton of crap in it already, and it was embarrassing because I go to these jobs and the other girls would be there, and I'm digging my vacuum out of the back seat with all this crap everywhere. So I'm just extra happy that I got it all cleaned out, and all my cleaning shit's in the trunk, and it's like makes me more excited about going to work. But anyway, shit.
Yeah, that's what I like about like a job that you like is that you get into a routine, and like with me, like my job and like my bike and everything, like it like works with it. So it's like I like look forward to going there and coming home because I
Yeah.
get to like ride my little bike, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? My little electric bike. If y'all, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast yet, but I got an electric. Oh no, we did. Oh yeah, it was. I think the first podcast I talked about getting a $1,000 electric bike.
Right. But you haven't talked about using it yet.
Yeah, I finally used it like a few days ago. Finally, for the first time, like actually used it, and now, oh my god, I'm so excited because now I don't have to take Ubers or Lyfts. That was the main reason why I like told myself this is a good investment because I'm gonna spend $1,000 on this bike, but it's gonna like pay itself off after a couple of months or eight.
Right.
Because it was about $800, but then with shipping and handling, it was like 1,000. So
How's the charging going? Like
yeah,
how long does the charge last?
it lasts pretty long. It lasts long. It lasts 40 miles on a full charge. And I charged it the last night fully, and it's still like pretty full. So yeah, it's solid. Like it's not giving me any issues yet
Oh.
so far. Hopefully it doesn't ever. Shut up. But like when I was doing my research on this bike, it was a really like good brand and so many good reviews and everything. So I'm feeling confident about it.
That would be fun. Like, I want to try it out one day.
Yeah, like when I was riding it just now, like on my way home from work, like a couple hours ago, I was literally like replaying over and over again, like you in my head saying like, "Oh, that'd be so fun to ride an electric bike," and I was like replaying that, like, "Oh my god, it is fun!" Like, yes, it is. Like I was riding it, like thinking, like, "This is so fun!" Like, yes, it is. Literally thinking, "Yes, it is fun." Yeah. Anyway, I was replying to you in my head.
Be careful and wear a helmet.
You see, I still need to get a helmet, but it's like so many.
I know you won't because of your hair.
No, it's not because of my hair. It's
You
because
think it's dorky.
it's because it adds another layer of like shit I have to deal with. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
I have to like shove my coat in there and my gloves and my scarf and my bike lock and my bag and like so many things I already have to like worry about. It's like just another thing, and it's like it's probably the most important one, but it's like I still.
Yeah, it's better than being in a coma.
Yeah, but it's like the thing that I'm just extremely careful when I'm riding though. Like I'm always like looking everywhere I can, like everywhere a car could possibly come, even if like I'm coming to like an area where it's like, oh, there is no car, but it's like if there was hypothetically a car going 100 miles an hour, I wouldn't see it until the last second. So I think about that. Like I think about every tiny detail about like anything that could go wrong.
Yeah.
So I like scan the road so intensely and blah blah. But yeah, that's how I've always been. I've always been extremely extra cautious my entire life, just to make sure. That's why I've always been like so scared to break the rules. Like even if I will avoid things that could even possibly be associated with breaking the rules just in case. You know what I mean? When I was a kid in school and shit like that.
Yeah.
Except for the time when I stole someone's phone.
Yeah.
When I was a fucking third grader or something. Oh my god. I was a kleptomaniac.
You denied that shit. You're like, no, I found it or whatever it was. Like,
I was so ashamed. I was so ashamed by that. Like, I felt so ashamed. And now that I'm an adult, like, all those little things I was so ashamed of as a kid, like, are nothing to me. Like, as an adult, like, when you're a kid, you're ashamed of masturbating. I was ashamed of, like, when we were kids and we lit the park on fire on accident, which is probably going to be...
a funny story.
Well, no, let me say this, because people are going to be like, what? Like, that's a little too harsh, but...
Right?
You know what I mean? But, like, no, there was a time when me and my brother were friends with this kid in our apartment complex who was this fucking troublemaker, and he, like, gave us, like... Or he, like... We somehow got, like, a lighter from him or something, and we were, like, playing... We were, like, playing with it just because, fire is fun when you're a kid. And so we were playing with it in this park with, like, a lot of dead brush around, playing with, like, this fucking lighter, like, lighting little pieces of twigs on fire and dropping them and watching them burn, just to watch things burn, you know what I mean? Because you're stupid kids. And then it like, caught, to like, on the brush. And then it got bigger, And then for some reason, like I remember, like there was a moment where it's like, oh, I should stomp this out. But then I was like, wait, no, like what if it burns? And then it got too big where it's like I can't stomp it out anymore. And then it got so big, like so fast, and then everyone ran away. And then like I was like one of the last people like still because I was trying to like stand around and like look at it as if like, oh shit, look at that, like to make it seem like I didn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was like, what? Oh my god. As everyone was running away, and I was like one of the only people left, and there was all these witnesses and stuff like who saw, and then
Right.
I left, and then and then for some reason, like an hour later, we went back, and then the fucking police stopped us, like when we were literally like fucking 10 years old. Like I can't believe the police stopped us, looked at our shoes, matched our shoes to the fucking footprints in the like what? In the
That's
dirt, and then called you guys, called our parents, and that was it basically. But I was so ashamed about like that, like setting the park on fire and stealing the phone and blah blah blah. That
that's so
nowadays I
weird.
look back on that and I'm like, that was so fucking just stupid. Like me being a kid, like thinking like this is all like, I mean, the setting the park on fire thing was kind of like crazy, but like when you break it down, it's like it's not like I was like going out of my way to be a malicious person. So you know what I mean? So I'm not ashamed of it anymore. Like when I was a kid, I was deeply ashamed of that stuff. But then you grow up and you're corrupted by everything, and you're like, that's nothing. So
Well, it's so weird
no.
because that's like a Mandela effect for me because I could have swore like that you guys set the fire in the bathroom at the park. Like that's the story I always remember. And then
Oh,
just recently you told me about the brush thing, and I'm like, what? Like I don't remember it being like
oh no
that.
no no! I think we said that for some reason. I don't remember why. To try to cover our asses or something. But no, we were
Uh,
like over by the
yeah, I heard it
canal.
was just the garbage in the bathroom. That's what I heard.
That was a separate thing.
Uh,
No, but
was it
like
the same day?
I don't remember. But yeah, there was like okay, remember the how that do you remember how that park was set up?
Yeah.
You know how it had that canal like up on like it was like higher up. This like
Yeah.
canal like behind the park it was higher up. So it was like up on the canal area, you know, and you know how behind the canal there were all these houses and stuff and like
Right.
trees and stuff. And so it was back there, like by the canals, where there was tons of like dead brush and trees, and then houses, and then we lit it, and it almost burned a house down. Actually, like it almost
Oh
reached a
God. What
house.
the fuck?
So,
Why did I not know about all
well,
this?
because
Like,
you're an absentee parent and you don't care. But anyway, I'm just kidding.
no. I'm telling you, it's a fucking Mandela effect. Because
But
I would have heard about all that. I didn't hear about any of that.
I don't understand how there's so many like parts of my childhood that you don't know about.
I know. It's like I come from another dimension.
Or maybe the audience is gonna be like, "Yeah, right, bitch, fuck you."
Another dimension. Another dimension.
And they're like, "Yeah, right, bitch, this fucking bitch."
This absentee drunk white trash mother.
Yeah. Because that's what you are. I'm just kidding. Um,
I gotta tell you about my story.
shut
Because
up.
you talk about being ashamed of stuff. But I'm outside. I don't want people to hear this. But like in elementary school, I remember.
Who cares? It's elementary school.
Well, listen. I remember, like we did. I keep had. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait. Where'd you go? Hold on. Okay, I had to cough because I keep having to clear my throat. But anyway,
Shut up.
so in like sex ed, they were talking about masturbation, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's perfectly normal, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it." All this shit. So then, like the next day in school, like on the playground, I was like bragging to everybody. I'm like, "Yeah, I masturbate." Like, yeah, I'm like,
Like
for
acting
some
like it's a
reason,
cool thing.
yeah, for some reason, like everyone in the school made fun of me for it, and it's like, I thought you guys went to the same class. Like, you're gonna try to act like you don't do it, you know? And so people made fun of me for that for years.
Really? For years? That
Yeah.
stuff doesn't happen nowadays. Like when you're in, I feel like that's like a thing of like the past, like something like that, like school to be such a big deal and so dramatic and things follow you for years. Like that's such an old thing because like nowadays it's so like rare for people to actually be I mean, personally, like, around, like, for me, like, I was such, like, at the target, like, I was such, like, a prime target of bullying, and I was never bullied. And none of this dramatic shit ever happened. No one, like, it's, like, so, it seems like so many, like, older people talk about how dramatic school was, and then I'm like,
Oh yeah, it
school
was
was, like,
hell.
nothing to me. Like, school was, like, just, like, so, like, everyone, like, didn't take it seriously. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
back then, I think that's the difference is, like, your generation took school seriously, and my generation, like, didn't take it seriously.
Well, I
Like,
remember when you were little, that's when they started the whole, all the things on TV and shit about stop bullying and all this crap. Like, and you guys weren't even bullied. Like, you don't even know what bullying was,
I know what
Like,
bullying, I know what bullying feels like. I just never felt it, like, in a school setting, you know?
right. Yeah, and then they called me Tracy Mellons because
Yeah, I remember that.
I started growing my boobs when I was, like, in elementary school still.
I remember you told me about that.
And my last name was Mullins, so everyone called me Tracy Mellons. Like, for years. Even when everyone else started growing their boobs, because mine were bigger than everyone else's.
Because my mom serves. She's a cunt diva, and she serves. She serves woman realness with her big tits.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All of her womanhood, that's where it is. That you can tell that's where all of her womanhood is because she doesn't act like a woman. Stop.
Yeah.
It's all in there and there only.
Is that a compliment?
It's a backhanded compliment.
Right. Bitch.
That's where all your woman is, and that's where any of it is.
Right.
Just in your tits.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. Nowhere else. You literally have a 10-inch dick. Okay, what the fuck?
I wish it was that big.
Girl. Not the person receiving it. People are talking about, oh my god, like, it's so... Oh my god. But, like, really? Like, if it's that big, it just hurts. No, but, like...
Well, it depends on how you do it.
Yeah, it depends on how you do it and everything, like... Yeah. Like, I'd say mine, I love mine. It's so pretty, it's so perfect. It's not too big, it's not too little.
I don't want to talk about that.
It's not
I'm
too
your
big.
mom.
Yeah, I forgot,
Trying to think.
Oh, and after we were just talking about you talking about your masturbating as a kid,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. No one cares, bitch. Literally, like, how I view it is that, like, the only reason that you even said, like, oh, I'm your mom, blah, blah, is because, like, you think, oh, other people are watching. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
whatever, like...
Because we always talk about everything because we're a couple of girlfriends.
Like, that's how we view our relationship, is that, like, she's, like, we're besties, you know what I mean? Like, so it's, like, we don't, like, we'll talk about all this shit, and, like, maybe it's weird to, like, you guys, but that's because you're weird. Fuck you.
Right.
Maybe it would be weird if I was straight. You know what I mean? If I was her straight son.
Yeah. I can't talk to Chris about any of that kind of
Yeah,
shit.
because it would be weird, but I'm a gay man.
He got mad because I said he needs to get laid.
Yeah, so. Yeah, me and this bitch, it's like, girl, that's, like, there's something about, like, gay men and older women in general, not even just mother and son. Like, gay men and older women in general is, like, there's, like, something there. Like,
Yeah,
where we just get
definitely.
along, like, we just get each other. Shut up.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, don't be offended, but it's almost like it feels like you're my girlfriend type of thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not offended because I know that physically I'm sexy and, like, I'm a man, but, like, emotionally and, like, with you, I'm your girl.
It's like your soul and your emotions and stuff.
Huh?
Wait, what the hell? Oh, someone turned on the swamp cooler. Wait, Justin's coming out. Hold on.
Tell him you're on the phone.
What happened to your hair?
I took a shower.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I passed out.
We're doing the podcast, by the way.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast. Good night.
Yeah, just so he doesn't say anything too crazy.
Oh, I get it. Right? Okay.
Hey,
I'm
bitch.
back.
You know who I'm obsessed with now? You know
Who?
how before it was Quinlan Blackwell?
Wait, who is that again?
The Viner.
Oh, yeah.
It was her.
Okay, yeah.
And now it switched to, I don't even know her fucking full name, even though she's famous as fuck, but the Chicken Shop Date Girl, who, like, basically what she does is she does this show called Chicken Shop Date, where she has celebrities and she interviews them, like a talk show, you know what I mean? But interviews them, and the whole premise is, like, they're in, like, a chicken shop having a date. You know, and that's the
Right.
whole concept of it. And so her whole personality, like, I'm obsessed with her. Like, my God, I'm obsessed. Like, I just can't. She's the new person I'm obsessed with. She's my new comfort person.
I still haven't even watched that Quinlan chick.
Yeah, her name is
I always
Amelia
forget
something.
everything.
What you should
Well,
do,
plus,
bitch, shut up. Look up Chicken Shop Date and start watching that.
all right. If I have time, like, I never even watch TV. Like, I've been into reading lately, and that's all I do is read. And the only time I watch TV is with Justin at night, you know.
Yeah, that's depressing.
No, I'm, like, so into reading,
Well,
man.
so that, to me, it's depressing, but it depends on who you are. Because the only time I ever read extensively was during really dark times, so.
Yeah. You associate it in a bad way.
Not necessarily. Well, maybe I do. Actually, probably, because, like, it was always a school thing first. So it was, like, an assignment. But then I had, like, books. It was always, like, sci-fi. Then I had, like, books that I wanted to read. Because I've always, like, liked the concept of books. You know what I mean? The concept of having this, like, physical thing that you can open up, and I don't know, like, something, like, I used to be obsessed with books. Like, now that I'm older, I'm not really anymore because it's stupid or whatever. But, you know what I mean? It was one of those obsessions where, you know, remember the Diary of a Wimpy Kid shit? Like, how I was so obsessed with that series?
Yeah.
Like, I had so many weird obsessions as a kid. I was obsessed with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I was obsessed with the Titanic. I was obsessed with sharks. I was obsessed with, other things that I can't remember right now. Like, I've always had
You used to love drawing, like, destruction and explosions and shit.
Yeah, like, something about destruction is so beautiful to me. Like, I used to draw nuclear explosions and burning cities. It was always, like, mostly, like, it was always, like, post-apocalyptic type stuff is what I loved to draw. I used to love to draw, like, space, planets, like, comets smashing into planets, like, cities being destroyed. And the fact that I could draw all that and you could decipher what it was at such a young age is amazing.
Your drawings were fucking amazing. Like, they were so good. And, like, and then I remember, you know how there's always that scenario in the movies where the teacher's like, you need to come in and talk to me. Look at the pictures your son's been drawing. But with Mrs. What was her name?
Miss Caroselli.
Yeah, Caroselli.
I still remember her name to this day. That was second grade.
Yeah. I remember all my teachers, too, though. But, like, she's like, oh, that's just what boys draw. It's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, because it's just, like, that's how boys are. But I loved your pictures of all that shit because I've always been obsessed with that kind of stuff. And you were so good at drawing it.
Yeah, isn't that so funny? You created a little, like, thing that manifests what you, like, turns what you, I don't know, turns what you want into reality or something along those lines. Or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but yeah. I still remember specifically, like, the one that... I still remember specifically the one that I drew that she was talking about. It was, like, there was, like, a skeleton and a nuclear explosion in fire. And, like, it was... I think what I was trying to draw was, like, a nuclear explosion, like, turning someone into a skeleton that's on fire. And, like, everything around them's on fire.
My favorite one that I remember is where it was, like, a planet with all these big buildings on it that were, like, huge on the planet. And it had, like, comets and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It was, like... Like the planet looked tiny with all these giant buildings all over it.
Yeah, like megalithic buildings on this building or on this
It
planet.
looks so cool.
Yeah, like I don't even remember that, but isn't that crazy that I fucking when I was literally like could barely comprehend, I'm sitting here drawing post-apocalyptic scenes like I'm the devil, like as if I'm like the devil's soul manifested, like the devil's soul came into a human body, and then now they're drawing this shit. It's like that. It's like that. You know what I mean? Like shit that like this kid. Why is this kid drawing post-apocalyptic shit? It's because he's literally this like his soul is from hell. That's why. That's why he's so perfectly depicting such dark shit at such a young age.
Yeah.
Or such.
Do you remember that time we were driving, and we were driving by that one area, and you said something about like an explosion in the sky, and we thought it was like you had a premonition of it or something. Like I forgot exactly how it went, but you were like, you just said, I don't know if you said you remember an explosion there, or you think there will be, or something like a plane crash there or in the sky, or do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I have those. I had one similar a while ago that I remember. It was like a plane crashed into a building in Detroit. And that was a dream. So it was like one of those things where it's like that's gonna happen.
Right. Oh, would it say like take out the Renaissance Center or something?
Yeah. Like I had a dream like not like a couple of years ago that still sticks with me, that like reminds me of what you just talked about. It's like, oh, this explosion in the sky, blah blah blah. It reminds me of like it's similar to like that. Like I had a dream where a plane crashed or there was an explosion in the distance, and we were like at grandma's house, and it was in Detroit, and I was like, oh, it's a plane crashing into a building in Detroit. And when I woke up, I was like, that's gonna happen now. Like that's gonna happen. Yeah. And I'm like, just wait, bitch, that's gonna happen. Like I know it's gonna happen. Like it's almost like I know it's gonna happen.
Right.
Like even if it's like the way that you think, it's like that I had that dream years ago or whatever, and it's like, well, it didn't happen, but maybe it will happen. You know what I mean? Like it still could happen. So it's like
you could be like the next Nostradamus.
I don't know what that is.
It's that prophet. Like he predicted so many things that fucking happened, and there's like so many more things that are supposed to happen that he predicted.
Damn. Yeah,
like
so just so that this is out there for all y'all to listen to, there is going to be maybe not necessarily a plane crashing into a building, but something very destructive happening to a building in Detroit, Michigan. And I also had then I had another dream about an explosion happening in a building. In a dream about in the city was like Detroit, but it's like I was visiting Detroit from somewhere else. Like it was like Detroit was like this famous city, and I was viewing it from a different perspective. And it's like it was like this big Space Needle type building, and it was like got destroyed or something. And then I was suspected of like having something to do with it. And that was part of the dream, and I was like really anxious in that dream because I look like I could, like I look ethnic, and you know how everyone's racist, and they're like, things blowing up, and I'm gonna associate that with Middle Eastern people, you know what I mean? And so in that dream, it was like that vibe. It was like racism and blah blah blah, and they're like, oh, look at your like slightly brown like. Yeah, okay, anyway. It was like it was like that type of vibe. But anyway, yes it was. Where was I going with that? I forgot. But yeah, it's like when you say okay. This all started because you were talking about how I was talking about that weird premonition as a kid or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so yeah, like all these things are just like associate. Okay. You know what? You take over.
Yeah, you're getting to that point.
I'm getting to the point where like I'm just like I forgot we were recording for a second, and I'm like, oh shit. And I like got back to it, and I'm like, oh shit, like I can't like let my thoughts get scattered because we're recording this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like I'll let my thoughts get scattered, and then it'll like ruin the whole vibe and blah blah blah. Or I'll
Ooh, you know
forget.
what
Well,
you
it won't
do?
ruin the vibe, but I'll just forget it, and it'll get awkward. But it's like, you know what? That's the point of this podcast, is how real we are. So it's like even like awkward little points like this, will make this into art. You know?
We should like talk about dreams because I love hearing. I know there's some people that hate hearing about dreams, and then other people that love hearing about dreams.
You know what's weird to me? Why would you hate to hear about dreams? Like
Right.
what about you makes you not like that? Like I understand not caring or whatever, but actively like not liking it is kind of weird.
Yeah. That's like how Justin is.
That is so weird. Like that is so weird to like to actively to actively not enjoy it is so weird. It's just weird. Okay, think about that. To actively, it's almost like it would require you to make yourself not want to like it. You know,
Yeah.
because like dreams are objectively entertaining to hear about. Objective.
Well, I want to tell you about this dream I had not that long ago. I think I told you, but I'm going to tell it again for the audience because I thought it was pretty weird. Oh yeah.
Shut up.
Ow, my neck. But anyway, yeah, my neck's an ongoing saga. But anyway, like, so I had this dream that I was in the bathroom, and I was like on the toilet, and for some reason, do you ever like freaking yourself out?
Girl, what do you mean by next and ongoing fucking?
No, I said my neck because I started complaining about my neck again.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, my neck is an ongoing saga because it's like always hurting on every podcast.
Okay. I thought you said like on my next ongoing saga, like as if like I always cut you off constantly to where you always have this saga going on. You know, that's what I caught it as. Like you're like throwing shade. And the fact that I caught that, even though it didn't even exist, the fact that I could even subtly catch that, even if it did exist, is crazy. But anyway, continue.
Anyway. So sometimes I like freaking myself out. Like in real life, I'll sit there and look in the mirror and just make really scary faces just to freak myself out.
Oh, I don't do that.
So in this dream, I was sitting on the toilet and like,
She's always on the toilet, guys.
right. But anyway, I know that's what it seems like. But anyway, so in the dream, I was like talking to this guy. He was like, he was just some guy I made up in my dream. But I wasn't talking to him while I was in the toilet. It was a guy I was talking to during the time. And like, I was thinking about him while I was on the toilet, and I kept imagining if I turned around and saw him there. And then I was like, that, you know, dreams are so weird. But anyway, so I was like imagining him like jumping out and making a scary face or something. I started freaking out. And then in the dream, like I started looking in the mirror, making like scary faces, you know. But then this is the part where it got so scary, and it's almost like the Stephen King dream that created The Shining. Like he had a dream that, like when he was staying in that hotel, he had a dream that the fire hose, you know, the emergency fire hose thing that they have in the case,
Yeah.
that it like came to life and started chasing his son, and that's what created The Shining. But anyway, so in this dream, all of a sudden the shower head, like the shower turned on, and then the shower head started moving on its own, like someone was holding it, but I couldn't see them. And then they started like spraying me with water, and it was like the scariest, like most. When you just hear about it, it doesn't sound scary, but you know,
No, but like,
like
I could imagine like having a dream where like this moving shower is as if someone's. So it's not like you're scared of the shower head. You're scared of like the entity holding the shower head almost.
Right. And so they started spraying me, and then I tried to like open the door, and I'm sitting there yelling like for Justin. I'm like, help, help! Like the door would not open. I kept trying to pull it open, and something kept pushing it back shut again.
Yeah.
And just kept spraying me, and it was like the scariest fucking dream. And I woke up like just freaking out. It was so scary. Like I don't know what the fuck that was about. But like that's the first. Well, no, you know what's weird, when I was having sleep apnea really bad before I like lost this weight. Like when you'll have like nightmares when you can't breathe in your sleep. Like the nightmares will happen to wake you up because you can't breathe. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think
So I
I've
would
had
never,
that.
huh?
I think I've had that. Sleep apnea. Isn't that where you stop breathing in your sleep?
Yeah,
Oh, I think I've had that before. Like a lot
yeah,
of times.
right. Like I can't lay on my back. Like when I'm
It
even when I was young and like super skinny, like I can't sleep on my back.
That is so funny because that's same thing with me. It was on my back. It's only on my back like when I like
Right.
can't and I wake up, I'll wake up and like be like panicking, but then I don't know why. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, "Oh, it's because I'm like suffocating." And I wake
Exactly.
up and I finally come to when I am not suffocating anymore, so I can't like put my finger on what that is, but it's cuz I'm suffocating.
So what's funny is I didn't have that issue until we came back here, and like I just started because I gained a little more weight like when we first got here, and then it got to like you get to a certain weight point to where it like really affects your sleep apnea, and like so I kept having
Shut
a
up.
lot of attacks every night like throughout the night, and that's what was causing the AFib too. But anyway, like because I would wake up not able to breathe, and I'd start gasping for air, and it would make my heart start freaking out. So, and that's when I started having those nightmares. And then I read up on it, and it turns out that's a thing. They're called sleep apnea nightmares or whatever, and they're just to wake you up because your body is in like hypoxia or whatever, where you're not getting enough oxygen, so your brain puts you into panic mode, and it'll give you a nightmare to wake you up so that you start breathing. But anyway, that dream, I think yeah, I think that dream was like the last sleep apnea dream that I had. And then like I lost all that weight and I don't even have it like I don't have sleep apnea happening anymore. But
I
anyway,
haven't noticed
yeah.
it either at all for like a year.
Yeah.
Over a year.
But yeah. Like okay, dreams. All right, tell me a dream, one of your most memorable dreams.
Oh, here's one that instantly came to mind when you were talking about that. I had this. A lot of them are really dark, but I like that about them. Like I'm attracted to like things that are like dark
Yeah,
artistically.
me too.
Like, but not in a like, oh my god, I'm so different. In a way that's objective. Like not like when I'm attracted to this or whatever. Think of okay when you think of dark, a dark song and then a happy song. Think of them as the same song because everything is the same to us, we just perceive them differently. Okay, so it's like
Right.
we like that's beautiful to me, but it's because of how I perceive it. Maybe you think it's not beautiful, like the dark parts of art, like sad, like dark thing. Well, maybe because you view it in a different light, so it makes you think of it differently. So when people talk about how like they like darker things or whatever, it's not because they're trying to be edgy, it's because that's just what they're drawn towards. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
not a thing. So whenever I say that, I don't want people to think it's just because I want to be edgy.
Right, like
No, it's just
what
something that you're drawn towards. It's like, do you like cats or dogs? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? It's like, we just put meanings into things. Like, happy or sad has meanings. Like, if you're into pop music, you're basic. If you're into sad music, you're a little person who wants to, like, wants everyone to look at them and blah, blah, blah. Take all that off the fucking plate and view it objectively. I enjoy this because I enjoy this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't enjoy it for any other reason except for I enjoy it. And it happened, you know what I mean?
right, and I've always been the same way. I don't know why. It's like
But,
I'm just attracted to the dark side or whatever.
but anyway, that was such a tangent that I just went on randomly because of you asking me about my most memorable dream. But the reason why is because it was dark, and I'm just trying to let y'all know that it's not because I'm gonna be edgy. That's just how I fucking am. I'm attracted to dark things because I think they're beautiful in their own way. So anyway, yeah, like the thing about this dream, and I told you about this dream before, like during this dream when I was experiencing it, it's like okay, when I was experiencing this dream, I was I wasn't scared or anything. I thought it was so beautiful. Like as I was having the dream, like in the dream, I was
Right.
like, "This is so cool. Like this is beautiful." And it
Yeah.
was like a dark dream, and the perspective of the dream was like a movie, to where it's like there wasn't one character that you are in. It was where it was like a camera just viewing things. So I was the camera just viewing things, and then what was happening in the dream was, it was like this creature. It was kind of like a skinwalker type creature or whatever, like a humanoid, like gray skinned creature in like a gas station, and it was almost like a scene from a movie. It was like ripping people apart in the gas station, but the camera was focused on like the walls. Okay, so like the camera in this dream, it was focused on like the fridge. You know, the fridges of like a gas station, like the aisles looking down the aisles to like the fridge, and I saw like blood squirting on the fridge and like shit, and like the creature, like it was like the creature was in the gas station killing everyone and like ripping them apart, and like watching their blood splatter on the fridge and stuff, on the freezers. It's like you would see like the thing happening kind of on the side, but like the main focus was just the blood spatter and stuff, like art, kind of like an artsy, like if you were trying to make a scary movie and you want to make it like artistic or something or whatever the fuck. So yeah, and I was
right. I can totally picture it while you're talking about it. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, just like
a cool movie.
Yeah, and it's almost like, you know, like how movies they'll have like that, like it'll be playing like 50s music or something, like happy 50s music, but like really dark stuff happening.
Yeah.
It was like that. It was very much like that. It was that exact vibe, like very like happy 50s song, but then like people being killed in the most disgusting way. And it was like the dream was like just a montage. The dream was just a montage, basically. It was just like it felt like a montage from a movie. And then that was the vibe of the movie. It was like a happy 50s like song playing while dark things are happening. It was like a little montage, and it was like music playing happiness, and then people being ripped apart, and then at the end scene, like you zoomed out and it was like, you know how like it was like the sign of the gas station, and instead of there being any letters, it was just like a smiley face in blood, like dripping.
That's so cool.
And then it ended, and that was like my most memorable dream.
Maybe you're supposed to make movies or something.
Maybe I'm supposed to make horror movies.
Like that sounds really cool.
Yeah, like it ended with like it was like the sign with like the two eyes and like the mouth, like dripping blood, like slowly zooming out and then like fading to dark.
Yeah, oh wow.
Like literally. I'm not even like like that's what happened in the dream. It was like a montage from a movie.
That's so crazy.
Like it literally was filmed as it was like a movie, okay? It was like if you were put on a movie. It was like that, like the way that they would do the scenes and like switch from like everything. So yeah, like that's my most memorable dream, I think.
You know what we should do is like try to anyway for as long as we can, because we only have so many dreams, but on every podcast we should have like a dream segment where we each tell one of our dreams, because I have so many that it would take up like a whole fucking night. But I figure maybe we could space it out, and that way people have something to look forward to. You know how like
like the dream segment,
right? Like Shane Dawson will have like his Mandela Effect segment on his podcast.
Really?
You know?
I don't watch Shane Dawson because fuck Shane Dawson. And everyone agrees with me because we're all on the hate train.
Yeah, all the cancel culture, blah blah blah. Well, but yeah, so I think we should do that. Just like have like a dream segment. What do you think?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Like, I never think of any structure for these. I just go into them. But like, maybe we could like have little segments. You know, like certain like designated
I'll watch
segments.
his whole podcast just to get to the Mandela part, and he saves that till the end. You know what I mean?
Oh. Yeah, like dream. Yeah, that sounds. It's just that me personally, like I forget my dreams all the time. But I have so many good dreams though, but I forget them.
Right. I know. Like all the dreams I'll talk about is mainly like from years ago, because for years I wasn't even like really dreaming because I wasn't sleeping good. You know.
Yeah.
And I just now started dreaming again. So, but all my really cool dreams were like back in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was having the most amazing dreams.
And that's what's funny about, like, let's circle back to like my fucking movie dream, is that the crazy thing about that dream, like the weirdest thing of all, like the one weird thing about it is that I was like happy in the dream. Like it's as if I was like the viewer. I wasn't any character or anything. I was just like behind the camera watching this movie, and I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. Like I like had this sense of like of like I felt like it was beautiful, like the way that it like I like felt I like got like in the dream I like got chills watching it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
in the dream I was watching it thinking this is so beautiful, like I love this. And that's why like when I woke up it stuck out to me so much because it was like so dark, but like I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
As if I was like feeling like the joy of the creature like killing people or some shit.
Right. Or just if you were watching a horror movie, like, you know.
But I don't feel like that good when I watch a fucking horror movie. It's like I felt
Right.
proud of it or something. Like in the dream, I felt proud of what I was doing, but I wasn't doing anything. I was just watching
That's
it
gotta
happen.
mean something.
Yeah, I was like
What?
proud of what I was. It's so weird.
It's almost like it's your creativity trying to come out and trying to tell you, hey, like, you should do something with some of this shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so weird. Yeah, that was the one thing that made it stand out was the fact that it was so like positive, even though there were so many negative things happening in it. Like it was so negative, but overall it was positive. You know,
Right.
like what the fuck?
Oh shit! Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
I hate that.
Because you know, me and you focus on our creativity on music and shit, but it's like I've always like had a really creative side as far as stories and shit, like in my head. Like when I
Me
when
too.
when I listen to music, I'll like come up with music videos in my head to go with it, or I'll just come up with these amazing stories. And the thing is, I have so much creativity in my head, but I don't have the patience to like sit there and write it or anything. You know what I mean? So it's just in there, and I want it to come out. Like I would love to make videos and shit, or just short movies or stuff like that. So you probably have that side of you too, you know?
Yeah, I get it from you. I think I get all of my art from you, like all of my artistic side. But
Yeah.
Papa has a pretty artistic side too, though.
Yeah, he likes drawing houses and shit.
Like he's a good
Like
architect.
architecture. Yeah. And like grandma liked to, you know, paint, so.
And then Paul, what does he do? Does he sing good?
He sings just like Elvis.
Okay, yeah, my grandpa sings just like Elvis.
Yeah, he can sound exactly like Elvis. But the funny thing is, he says he hates music and he only likes Elvis and some Motown music, and that's it.
That is so weird because that's our thing. Like we love like music. Music is our
Well, you know
thing.
what? We get that from Grandma because Grandma loved music.
Yeah.
She just wasn't talented at it, but she loved music, you know?
That's the thing. It's like if there was one thing that we would choose, or that I would choose, you know how I was talking about how like I can't choose just one thing. I guess it would be music, or
Oh, yeah.
something like music is like my thing. Okay, I guess would be my thing. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. Like you know, like Justin would be like a movie buff.
Right.
Christopher would be like what's a word for like someone who's like likes technology and computers and like is good at it. Like I don't know, it's like someone like that. Huh?
A techie, I guess.
I guess.
But
maybe.
he's into engineering and shit.
That's
so
what I mean.
his
Like
thing.
that whole like he's like that. Justin's like movie buff. We're like there's different things where it's like you specialize in that in your life.
Yeah.
It's like one like thing that you specialize where it's like Justin maybe it would be film. For us it would be music. For Christopher it would be like something like engineering or something for you know what I mean? Like everyone has like their one like title.
Yeah.
As a human. Mine would be like I'm not gonna say what mine would be because it's stupid. It's like pretend. It like comes off as like pretentious when you when you give yourself a title. You know what I mean? You have to let everyone else give you the title. But
No.
I'd say that my place in the world would be artist. You know, like if you're giving like different categories to people, I would be in the category
Well, definitely.
of
Like,
artist.
I mean, I'm an artist too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing pretentious about it. It's like that's your passion.
It's
you
like
know?
the thing that you specialize in your life. It's like this is you and this is what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's like the thing. So it's the thing that it would for us it would be music. or whatever. I mean, for me, actually, no, it would be artist because I have so many different things that I like to do within the
Right.
whole realm.
For me, it's definitely music. I mean, I'm good at drawing and I'm good at, coming up with stories and that kind of shit. But my biggest passion is music, though. You know what I mean?
My
And
yeah.
yeah.
Same for me, but I'm saying like overall, like if you were given an art like a title, it would be just like artist, musical
Right.
artist, whatever
Well, yeah,
artist.
because even if you're just a musical artist, you're still an artist.
Exactly, they're, like different forms of artists. So it's like I would be an artist in all forms.
Yeah.
Because I'm a pretentious piece of shit, and that's what I think. No, I actually don't think that. But I also do. But I also don't. But I also do. But I also don't.
No, because I'll vouch for you that you are a great artist, like in every way, like at drawing, at making clay, things out of clay, at like your creativity with stories and shit. Like you're actually a very talented artist. So
Do you actually think that? Because I always like when I
yeah,
think of
like
people who
what?
are talented and artistic, I always doubt myself. I'm always like, no, you're
No,
not.
don't. Are you insane? Like,
I,
listen to your whole fucking album first of all, and your drawing and everything. It's fucking amazing.
see, that's the thing is that I was sitting there like talking to myself about it, and I was like thinking like I'm delusional for even questioning if I'm good at these things because I am, but I still can. It's so weird. It's like this weird, um, this weird what's the word? For it?
Self-doubt.
Well, yeah, but there's like a word like this weird like dissociation or something where it's like no matter
Right.
what, you will always doubt yourself. You will always dissociate and doubt yourself no matter what, no matter how much evidence.
You know what's sad is like everyone needs validation from other people.
Exactly.
Like even me with singing, like I'm not going to be happy until I'm famous in the whole world. Not the whole world, but like a huge audience is like, yeah, you're a good singer. Like we love your music. That's the only time I'm going to be like, oh, I guess I am a good singer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when because you're like, oh, I will vouch for you. You're a great artist. I'm like, I still don't believe you. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, because you're probably thinking, oh, you're my mom. You don't want to hurt my feelings.
Well,
Blah, blah.
I actually do believe that you're genuine. It's just that I don't believe that it's so weird. I can't put my finger on it. It's like I can't. What the fuck? What the hell? That's such a weird thing I just figured out. It's like I know I'm talented, but I also don't know for sure. You know, like
Right.
what?
Yeah.
But also
Well,
saying that sounds so stupid. Like, oh, I know it. But then I also okay, this is too much.
I'm just scared the shit out of me.
Huh?
Something scared the shit out of me. My headphone cord just all of a sudden started sliding like down the table, and it just reminded me of that dream of the shower head. Like I thought the cord was coming to life and it was gonna kill me.
Yeah. Yeah, like things like that where it's like if you were to imagine like a door opening on its own, you would just be like, "Oh, whatever." But if you were to actually sit there and see a door open on its own, you would freak out. Like it would feel
Yeah.
like a personal attack. Even though
Oh, yeah.
nothing happened to you, it would feel like something's trying to like prove a point to you. And you're like,
Yeah.
"Now I feel like something like really demonic is happening here." Even just a door opening is like, well, that's really intense because like the fact that thing had enough energy to open the door.
Right.
Oh my god, you know what I mean?
It just makes you, and it's just the whole unknown thing. Like, what the fuck is it? Like, what? That's not normal in reality. Like, what just happened? And it makes you question reality.
What were we just talking about? I forgot like the whole base of what we were talking
Well,
about.
we were talking about like doubting yourself as an artist and that kind of thing.
Damn, you went too far the other way. Now I'm still confused.
Well, because you were talking about how you don't truly believe that you're talented, even though you know you are. But then the chord thing slid down and it
Oh
scared
yeah,
me. So I
something
brought it
an
up.
entity
Yeah.
perceiving.
But we're so ADD. What, like for the dream segment, we each told a dream, but there's still one more dream because it's our first time talking about dreams that I want to like talk about because it's really weird and it'll lead us into like the whole reality thing because like the whole like simulation theory or slipping into different timelines and shit, because this dream I had was so fucking weird. Like, I know I've told you about it before. I don't know if you remember it, but it was. I had this dream back when we lived in the first apartment, in Grand Junction, when we first moved out here. When we lived in the apartment when you guys destroyed the park.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we didn't destroy the
right,
park. We only lit one part on set. We only lit one part on
I know.
fire.
I was just being.
Well, I just want to clear it up, and also,
Right.
if anything, we helped because we cleared out some brush. But anyway.
Okay, so in the dream, remember how our bedroom was like? Okay, so this is right. Here's the dream. Like, goddamn fucking cord.
We could hear the cord.
Yeah, it's trying to kill me.
It was like
no, my arm keeps hitting it. But anyway, so
shut up.
All right, so in this dream, it wasn't like a dream. It was the weirdest thing I've ever had happen to me. You know how you have dreams where like you think they're real and you wake up and you're like, oh my god, that was so real, right?
Yeah.
Well, this was totally fucking different. This was fucking real. Like, this really happened. I feel it was. It's so hard to like describe how fucking real this was to where I feel like this really happened. So I woke up. So this is the dream quotation or whatever. I woke up and okay, I looked out our bedroom window. And you know how in real life there was the parking lot there when you looked out the window, right?
Which window?
Our bedroom window in the first apartment when we moved to Grand Junction. Yeah, so it was the parking lot. So in the dream, like I looked out the window and there was like a house next to us, as if like, and it wasn't, it was like close to us, like, a house next to us. But anyway, and then I could see the front porch and there was like this old black couple sitting on the front porch. And in the dream, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Because it was as if I really did wake up in a different reality. Because I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Why is there a house here? Why is this couple here? Like, what is?
So in the dream, you were like, what?
Yeah, in the dream, because it wasn't like a dream. It was like it felt like I really did wake up, and everything was wrong. So that's the first thing, and then I'm like, so I leave the room and I'm like looking for Justin because I'm like, what the fuck's happening? Why is there a fucking house there? Well, when I walked out of the room, the whole house was different. Like, you know how you walk out, you go down the hall and there's like the living room. But in the dream, it was like, there was like a tiny little living room. And then after that was a kitchen. And it was like all down this hall. Like, you know how the kitchen was really like on the right side when you're going down the hall. But in the dream, it was on the left side past the living room. And so I go in the kitchen and Justin was there and there was like some chick there. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, who is this? And why the fuck is our house like this? What is happening? Like, I was freaking out. And he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, everything's different. And who's this chick? And why is the kitchen here? And what the fuck is happening? Like, I was freaking out,
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going back to Grosse Pointe. So I get in my car and I start like driving. I'm like, I'm going home. This is fucked up. Like, where am I? This isn't like reality. So when I got in the car and I started driving, it was like, remember that Muse video, The Dark Side, where he's driving and it's like those mountains and like it's the car and like it looks all electric and shit.
The grid and everything.
Yeah. That's what it looked like. And I was like, what the hell? I mean, not exactly like that, but I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, and then I woke up. Okay, it was one of those dreams where I woke up from driving, and I remember, like, I woke up, but I actually didn't wake up still. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I've had dreams like that where I've woken up, like, 5 times, and it's still a dream.
Right. Like, I woke up, and I was, like, back in the room, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And the room was still wrong. And I'm like, oh, my God, I have to wake up to my normal reality. it really felt like I woke up in a reality that I wasn't supposed to wake up in. And, like, they kept fucking up. And then they finally put me back in the normal reality. And I remember when I actually woke up, I thought, this is how bad it was. When I actually woke up, I was like, did I really wake up? Like, is this normal now? Like,
I think that's pretty common. Like, that's happened to me. I've heard other people talk about that too. Like,
but it's okay. And like I said, I've had those dreams before, but this was fucking different. I'm telling you. So when I actually woke up, I'm like, okay, is this real? Like, and then I even went to Justin. I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, you won't believe what just happened. Like, it was so bad. It was so intense that I was like, I actually woke up in a different fucking reality. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to explain. Because I've had those dreams before where you wake up and you think, oh, I'm still in a dream or whatever. Or you think you actually woke up, but you're still in the dream. I've had those, but this was different. This was like I was completely conscious. And, like, I fucking actually woke up in a different reality. And I'll never forget that. It was so freaky. Like, it was intense.
I've had that to where, like, I wake up in actual reality and, like, question if it's reality too. Like, or
right.
if it's, and then, like, especially, like, when you first wake up, your kind of, like, head is clouded a little bit. So you're kind of in that state.
That's the thing is I wasn't. I was, like, completely, totally lucid, totally awake, like, not even groggy or out of it. You know what I mean? Like I actually woke up the first time when I woke up and everything was wrong. It was like something glitched out in reality to where everything was all wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's like people don't understand because they're like, oh, I've had those dreams. It's like, no, this wasn't that. This wasn't a dream. It actually happened. You know what I mean?
And, yeah. And it just hit 222. Or it just went past that. Oh my God. Yeah, I've been seeing 1222 and 222 absolutely everywhere.
I've been drinking, like, coffee. I'm going to have to eat something again. I might have to eat eggs or something. Or I could just have sausages.
You know what's the coziest thing is when you realize that you have enough money where you can order DoorDash and you get some DoorDash and you sit there and you eat your cozy little DoorDash.
I know, that was nice when I had all that money. But all my money went on fucking ordering DoorDash.
Yeah.
Like, it's so depressing. If I were doing this carnivore diet, then that wouldn't have happened. Because there's nothing I can order to eat, you know?
Yeah.
Although what I would have done is been ordering steaks from Walmart. And all my money would have went on that. So either way, I'd end up spending all my money.
That's the thing that sucks about us, is that we're both bad with money. I never thought I'd be bad with money, but I am pretty bad with money. And I feel like when you're at my age, it's okay. You're allowed to be bad with money. I mean, I feel like I'm a lot better with money than a lot of people my age. So it's like, I still get a lot of points, all right? Just so y'all know, when I say I have a flaw, I'm just saying, like, I have just, like, a little flaw. I probably have a flaw. Like, when you think of that flaw, you think of... When I say I have a flaw, okay, y'all think I have the full-on flaw. No, I don't have the full-on flaw, okay? I don't get full-on flaws. I get half flaws. Y'all get the full-on flaws. Alright? So, yeah. I forgot where I was going with that, so I'm just making shit up now. But, but yeah. And that's what they always used to say back in the day.
Tonight has this really cozy, like, vibe. Like, okay, when I look outside, there's, like, almost, like, kind of magic in the air or something. It feels like the setting of, like, a spooky movie or something. It's just such a cool feeling right now.
Let me see. I want to feel this feeling with you, and so that we can both, like, share this and, like, exist in it and, like, soak it up.
Yeah.
Because I can feel, like, when you were talking about that, I was like, oh my god, I feel it with her. Like, I feel it.
Yeah. It's just so cool. Like Chris is in his room. I don't know what he's doing. Justin's in his room. And I'm out here and I'm just looking. I'm like sitting at my desk in the kitchen with my cool lighting. I got like my blue light and my hot pink lava lamp and then the blue rope lighting above the cabinets. And then I look outside and it's like just such a cool just vibe. Like I can't describe it. It's just cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of setting to a horror movie, but like I don't know. I hate when I can't totally describe what I'm feeling, but it's really cool.
Yeah. I'm trying. I looked outside. I can barely see anything though. Yeah, I'm gonna try to feel that same vibe. But yeah, like that just made me think of how we don't like think about how our environments affect our vibes that often. Because you were talking about your whole environment, and I was thinking about, damn, my environment is so different from yours.
Yeah.
My little apartment, the way that I'm sitting and facing and stuff, has its own feeling.
Yeah, like it's just like the way the lighting is, and then like there's this like cloud covering in the sky that's kind of bright in a way, like something's above the clouds lighting the clouds or something.
Oh,
Probably the moon.
So I was thinking like the city lights reflecting on the clouds.
Yeah, but I'm facing like towards the mesa where there's no city. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the clouds do that here a lot. It's really weird. Like, ow. It's like a bone in the sausage.
What? Oh, I mean, they're made of just ground up anything, so.
Ugh. It's like, it feels like, did my tooth break or is it an actual bone? Ugh, it's gross. But anyway.
I love that mystery.
We get those clouds a lot at night here. Like, there'll be these low-hanging clouds and they're bright. Like something's lighting them up.
Probably the city.
But it's not.
Yes, it is.
What city? There's no city there.
The city that you're in.
Man, it ain't that.
Yes, it is. What do you think it is?
It's UFOs hiding above the clouds.
No.
Do you remember in Ohio, like at night, we would go to the lake and we would see all those lights above the clouds?
No.
Maybe that was Chris. Like, we'd go out for drives. And I could have swore you went with me. But it was nighttime when we drove to the lake.
Wait, was this only one time?
Well, I remember one time specifically, but it seemed like it happened a few times. But, like, we looked up and there were all these different spots above the clouds that were lit up, and we could not figure out what the fuck they were.
See, I, like, slightly remember that to where it's like I can't tell if I did remember that or if I'm just... My brain is telling me to remember that because you're saying, so I'm not sure.
Well, it was, like, in areas, like, where there wouldn't be lights. Because we're in Ohio. We're surrounded by farmland.
Oh, no, I think I remember that.
And it was, like, above the water, like...
Wait, hold on. What's that noise? I can't tell what that noise is. It sounds... The fuck? What? That's kind of creepy.
Or you need to describe what you're hearing.
I'm hearing like a... It sounds like the cat, like, scratching at the door, but, like, a different... Like, he's scratching at something, or she, or whichever one, scratching at something different. So it doesn't sound like they're scratching at the door, but it sounds like
Is he playing with the thing on the door like he was in Greeley?
What thing?
The door stopper thing?
No.
That goes...
No, I don't have that. I think it's a skinwalker trying to make me go and see if and kill me.
Oh, God.
But no, I couldn't...
We should tell that story of the skinwalker.
What skinwalker story? What, the one in the field?
Yeah, in Ohio.
I think it was when you were with Chris.
I always think it was when I was with you, but it was so creepy. I'm going to tell the audience about it. I just love telling creepy stories.
Yeah, but wait, let me try to figure out what that fucking noise was, though.
Okay.
This is exactly why I need a gun. What were you saying then?
Okay, so it was a dark, scary night. Oh, but so it was one of the nights where me and Chris were driving around in the fields because in Ohio there was nothing to do, so we used to like to just drive around in the cornfields and shit. And so when we were coming back and we were coming down this one road, first of all, the first weird thing that happened. No, never mind. I'm horrible at telling stories. Okay, so the first thing that happened is
Same thing with me, girl. I get it from you.
I know, I get ahead of myself and I'm like, oh wait, I gotta
that's exactly what I do all the fucking time. That's exactly you just pinpointed it. I can never think about it, but yeah, it's because I always get ahead of myself. Anyway, continue.
Right. Well, okay, so we're coming down this road, it's nighttime, and we could see this really weird thing sitting in the field. Like, there was a house there, but it was in a field, and it was kind of close to the house, and it looked like it had gray skin, and it was bald, no hair anywhere, just gray skin. It was crouched down, and its eyes were glowing, and we drove by it, and we're like, what the fuck was that?
Are you sure that you saw that, or did your eyes just say that you saw that?
Oh no, we saw it. We both saw it.
Are you sure? Did you actually see a creature?
Yes.
Really? How clearly?
Really clearly.
What? To where without a doubt you knew that that's what it was.
Yeah. Let me get to so what happened was the funny thing is, okay, so we're in the middle of nowhere, right? And we come up, okay, we see this thing, and then it was right before we got to the intersection, right? So we get to the intersection, and suddenly there's a ton of fucking cars, coming our way at the intersection and crossing the other way, going both ways, you know what I'm saying? And we're like, what the fuck? Because we wanted to turn around and look at it right away. But I couldn't make a U-turn because all these cars were coming. And I'm like, what the fuck? Since when? It was the middle of the fucking night, and it was out in the middle of nowhere, and suddenly there was tons of cars. And we're like, okay, that's weird. So we cross the intersection, we go up, down, past the intersection to try to turn around so that we can come back and see it. So we go up and turn around, and then we're coming back, and this time it was on the other side of the house, and it looked at us, and it was crouching down, it looked at us, and then it took off into the woods behind.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious.
No, okay. When I'm saying this, I'm saying, because when you told me the story the first time, I was like, oh, maybe it was I never took it too seriously, because I was like, oh, maybe it was a trick of the light, maybe it was whatever. But if you for sure saw a humanoid creature with no hair, to where you could tell that it had no hair and it was bald and it was on all fours and all this stuff, are you sure? Really?
Yes, I saw it clear as fucking day, and its eyes were glowing.
So could it have been a person who was crazy or something? Who could it have been?
No, it had gray skin and the eyes were glowing.
Are you sure? I still don't believe you. I still don't believe you.
I'm sure.
It's crazy because no matter how much you say you're sure, I still don't believe you. Like, I just can't believe you.
Well, he saw it too.
What? Because the way that you're describing it, I feel like you didn't describe it good enough the first time then. Because if I heard you say that the first time, because the first time I just assumed, oh, she probably just is seeing things, whatever. I didn't think about it. You should have fucking gone more into detail because, like, if you're saying you actually saw that thing for sure, then that's crazy.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, not long before that, we were coming down the same street, but we were like further back, and it was daytime, and this weird fucking dog-like thing. It had the ugliest, meanest face, and it had these red fucking eyes, and it ran across the street. It was looking at us like it wanted to kill us, and it ran across the street. It looked like some deformed-ass, weird fucking dog type of creature. And me and Chris were both like, what the fuck was that? So we think it was the same creature because it was gray too. But only, but here's the weird, it looked like it was like in its dog form, but then it's almost like we saw the same creature, but only kind of transitioning to human form, like a skinwalker.
Oh my god, that makes me want to kill myself. What if the guy who I talked about from work is the same creature?
Oh, remember in Sterling, the reservoir, and me and Chris kept seeing that same cat everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because...
Well, I think I was with you too, but... Because it seems like it's always you and Chris.
Well, this was Chris, because, like, we were sitting there... Let me think. Because we're sitting there in the car, and then I felt like something was looking at me, okay? And I look out the window, and there's this kitten just sitting there, this black cat, and it was a kitten, but it was just sitting there staring at me, like sitting next to the car, just staring up in the window at me.
Like, was it right next to the car, or like...
Yeah, it was right next to the car. And I got the creepiest feeling from it, though, which is weird because it's a cute little kitten, and you think I'd be like, oh, what a cute kitten, but I got creeped out by it. It was so weird because I could feel something staring at me. I look over, and I got freaked out by it. And then Chris, like, gets out of the car to go pick it up, and I'm like, no, don't do that. And, like, he goes to get it, and it runs away, and he was, like, trying to chase it, but it ran away. But we'd always see that cat there every time. Not every time, but
almost every time. That is really weird that it gave you a creepy feeling.
Yeah, it was weird.
Because if anyone saw a kitten, you'd just be like, oh my god, my immediate instinct would open the door and try to grab it.
I know, that's how I normally am, especially with cute little kittens, but the way it was staring at me, it was almost like it could see through my soul.
Like it knew more.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just a stupid little kitten.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it had something behind those eyes, you know.
And then there was that time we were coming back from the reservoir, and it was Chris again. He must have tracked this shit. And like...
Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with Christopher? And also, what's funny is that I thought of a song called Behind Those Eyes. And I just talked about Behind Those Eyes, but anyway.
Well, anyway, we were, like, driving back, and, like, there was, like, the ditch, okay? And, like, a bunch of kind of weird bush type of thing, like bushes there. And we could see these red glowing eyes. And it was like, if it were standing, it would have been like 8 feet tall. Because we went back the next day and looked down in the ditch to see. And it would have been, if it were standing, it would have been that tall. And like, the only thing we could think it could have been was an owl. Because I guess owls' eyes can... Or no, was it yellow? I think they were... I don't remember if they were yellow or red glowing eyes. But anyway, I think it was yellow. Yeah, it was
you
yellow.
said yellow. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because I remember now because I thought werewolves have yellow eyes. And we thought it was a werewolf. But... we were thinking it could be an owl, but the thing is, the bushes that were there couldn't support an owl. It was just these, like, puny twig things sticking up, like, straight up. Like, an owl couldn't even sit there. You know what I mean?
Who knows?
I always wondered about that. That was weird.
You know, I love, like, thinking about cryptids and, like, creatures and, like, things like this, where it's, like, mysterious and, like, no one really has an answer. But everyone has a similar story, though. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Everyone has a similar story, but no one has an answer.
Yeah.
Oh, I love stories like that. I fucking hate it, though. Just knowing that we most likely live amongst, like, fucking extra-dimensional creatures. interdimensional
that
creatures.
reminds me. Do you remember the creepy thing here in Grand Junction at the first apartment?
Don't tell me. Stop. You're creeping me out. I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore.
Seriously, I love getting creeped out. You don't like it?
You're in a house with other people.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm alone, so I don't like to like really get into creepy things too much. Like if it's too, I'm okay. I'm done. Like we're deep enough. Okay.
Man, that sucks because this is such a good story. Maybe I'll tell it during the day when we do a podcast during the day, so you won't be so creeped out.
Yeah, like I don't want to get too creeped out right now. I want to keep it light right now. Like I just want to have fun. Like this is actually ruining my buzz. Like I'm actually like I felt sick to my stomach at a certain point. Shut up.
That's so weird. Like I never understood. Like. Because I don't know, I just love like that feeling of getting creeped out and shit.
Well, it depends on your state, because like I'm kind of like I love feeling creeped out, but not right now.
Yeah, because you're alone.
I'm alone, and also like I'm drinking something that isn't meant to be inside of a human body, and it's like that's already enough, and then it's making me like feel worse. So yeah, I don't want to like.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to make it harder to swallow.
All right, let's think of something lighthearted.
Yeah, like all this dark stuff. First of all, I think it's really fascinating. So y'all don't be like judging me, thinking like I'm like giving like graveyard girl energy. And that, remember the one YouTube video where she was like getting all freaked out by ghosts and shit, and then like everyone was hating on her and stuff in the comments, and it was like Shane and everything. I'm like giving that kind of vibe right now, but it's
that
like
was so annoying.
It was, but like, because like her whole brand was around that, you know what I mean? And then she wants to like freak out like that. But anyway, but yeah, it's giving me that. But I'm just like, I don't know. I don't care.
I know what you mean, because you know what? Actually, when I was in my 20s. Like, I used to get creeped out really easily, like, more than now. Because, you know, after a while, you're like, whatever. But, like, in my 20s, I'd get really badly creeped out to where it was too much, like, especially when I was alone.
Yeah, like, right now, like, there's, like, a corner right there where anything could peek its head around that fucking corner, so shut up.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Still, like, to this day, like, sometimes I'll...
Oh, my God, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm imagining... Oh my God! I'm imagining a dinosaur head peeking around the corner, and then when I notice it, it retracts, and then I go to look, and there's nothing there. That would fucking destroy me. Like a dinosaur head. Okay, imagine like a velociraptor's head peek around the corner and look at you, and then as soon as you notice it, it like goes back really fast, and you go to look, and there's nothing there.
See,
that would be horrible.
I wouldn't. Like, when I think about getting creeped out, I don't think of, like, dinosaurs and shit. I think of, like Linda Blair from The Exorcist, or, like, demon faces, or that.
Well, that's the
thing.
Demon. That's the thing. I'm not thinking of, like, an actual... I'm thinking of a demon manifesting itself as a dinosaur, and now I know that there's a demon entity in my home that looks like a dinosaur, and it's, like, gone now, and who knows where it is now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I view it like that, like... The creepiest face to see wouldn't be a humanoid face. It would be like a fucking full-ass, like, dinosaur head.
Or, like, that demon dog. Oh, my God.
Yeah, like, things like that. It's like a human face doesn't get me anymore. Like, it has to be, like, a really uncanny valley human face. And it really has to be specific.
Well, you know what the Exorcist chick looks like, right?
No.
That's she's scary as fuck.
No. Like, I think, like, doesn't she probably just has, like, long hair and, like... black eyes and...
No, look it up. She's scary as fuck. Well, maybe you shouldn't.
No, because, like, things that... If it's humanoid... I mean, there's certain humanoid... But if it looks humanoid and you can tell it's a female, it's not scary to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not scary to me. Like, anything with long hair and... Well, it's not scary.
It's, like, one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
To me, something that's scary is like a dinosaur, like a demon that looks like a dinosaur. That's scary to me.
That sounds funny to me.
No, like a velociraptor, but it's a demon. I
can kind of picture.
That's really creepy. Like a fucking look. Okay, imagine a corner. You see a fucking velociraptor's head in the corner, and it retracts, and you go, and there's nothing there. Shut up. That would give you deep deep chills.
Yeah.
Like, that would make
Right,
you
so-
want to puke.
Maybe we should lighten the mood.
I'm like getting irritated that you're not as creeped out about that thought as I am. Like, that pisses me off.
No, I'm just trying to change the subject because you said it's killing your mood and shit.
Well,
Yeah, that would be creepy.
hypothetically talking about it, because I was imagining that the other day, and it was the most creepy thing ever. Like, looking at that corner and seeing, like, a fucking big, like, T-Rex head, and then it retracts really fast, and then you go and there's nothing there. It's like...
But a T-Rex head would be as big as your living room.
No, a T-Rex head would not. You
well,
don't...
almost.
No, it wouldn't. It would probably be as big as it's been.
I mean, a Velociraptor is one thing, but a T-Rex, that's huge.
I don't think you're understanding, like, the proportions correctly. Like, I wish I could show you my hands, but, like, a Velociraptor's head is like this. And, like, a T-Rex's head is like this. You know what I mean? It's, like, not that big of a difference. And it's, like...
Man, a T-Rex can fit a whole person in its mouth. You remember Jurassic Park? He was like putting his whole mouth around the car.
I just don't think that... I don't know.
But a Velociraptor, that'd be creepy.
It's just a dinosaur head. I don't care. Just whatever. Like... I don't know why we're getting into specifics here, bitch, but I'm trying to give you just a very, like, what's the word? Generalized, like visualization of what I was imagining. Just like a dinosaur head. I literally said, whatever. Anyway, like a dinosaur that's what I was imagining the other day, and it gave me the deepest chills. Like, just like a dinosaur. Just imagine, okay, I feel like the viewer understands more than you. Dinosaur head, looking at you around like a dark, dimly lit corner. You look at it, you clearly see it, and then you see it like really quickly draw its head back.
Totally
like it notices you looking at it, and you're like, what? Like you just saw it. Like, you're not even, there is no games to be played. Like, you just saw that. And then you, like, instantly, as soon as you see it disappear into the corner, you look and there's nothing there.
Right.
That would make me kill myself. I would kill myself. Like, there would be no, I would go crazy after that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would be so incredibly scary. Like, it's even scarier just looking around the corner and nothing there. Like, there is something there, you just can't see it anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and now you don't know where it could be. Oh my god, I fucking hate that. God.
Hard. Yeah, I can totally picture it.
Mm-hmm.
They have some really good YouTube videos that they you know it's not real. They're using like effects and stuff, but they're really good at making it look scary. Like, there's this one guy where, like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like this little boy crouched down under this table, and like he sees it peeking around at him, and he sees its feet or something, and then it like pulls back, like you said, really quick, and then he goes and he like goes to under the table, and it's like nothing's there.
See, oh yeah, that just hits such a certain spot that like feels like painful.
Yeah.
Feels like a knife scraping against like concrete. That's what that feeling reminds me of. Ugh.
This would be fun if we were like in the same room together. We could just creep each other out.
Yeah, but we're miles away from each other.
Yeah. I still think it's fun, but that's because, like you said, I have people in the house.
Yeah, like it's not as serious.
Right.
It's not as real. I'm completely alone. Like, where do I like? Oh my god. Yay! I don't have to work tomorrow.
tomorrow's my short day. I only work 2 hours tomorrow, but then Saturday I work 4 hours. And then Sunday I have off. And Saturday I get off at 3:45. So I have the rest of Saturday off and then Sunday off.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, we got locked like in the bank vestibule the other day.
Huh?
For my job, because like the chick, like we clean bank, like 2 banks at the end of every night, and like, so you have to do it a certain way, like with the alarm and lock the doors a certain way and all this shit. So we had to like go outside the bank, lock the first set of doors, and then there's the vestibule where then you are in that little area between doors, like then there's the outside set of doors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were like out there, we just like walked out, and then the other chick's like, do you have your keys? And she's like, yeah. And the door's like closing, and she's like, oh wait, no I don't. And she goes to grab the door to like shut and locked, and the keys for the bank were locked inside the bank. And we were like stuck there for 20 minutes. I mean, we could leave, we could go outside the other door, but we can't because of the job. We had to all stick together. And then the one girl had to go and get the other set of keys from this chick that has COVID. So,
What?
so me and the other girl were stuck there. And I was in so much pain. Like that day, I was so sore. My back was killing me. My feet were killing me. And there was nowhere to sit. So I'm just standing there in all this pain for like 20 minutes waiting for like the chick to go get the keys so we could leave. I was like, man, this sucks.
Girl, the way that you describe that is so confusing. It's like, wait a second. Wait, girl with wait, where did the girl with COVID come from? That was out of nowhere.
Okay, so
and where is she going? I thought you guys are all in the same boat. And what, is she in there already? Like, I'm just so many questions.
There's this chick who has COVID that was working, but now she's off because she has COVID. But she had the extra set of keys in her house. You know, she's at her house, and her keys are with her at her house. So the one chick that was with us had to drive to her house to get the extra set of keys so we could unlock the bank, and the one girl could go back into the bank and get her keys to the bank. Do you know what I mean?
Nope.
Because we couldn't leave. She had her code in there and her shit in there and her car keys in there, plus the bank keys. And so we walked out of the bank into the vestibule, and the door locked on us and locked her keys in there in the bank. You know what I mean?
Okay, I understand all of that. Okay. Just move on.
All right. Well, I'm sure the audience will understand. I'm getting a hot flash.
As you deserve, because you're annoying. Yes.
Hot flashes suck.
Yeah, I know what they feel like.
Oh yeah, you used to get those.
I used to get them so intensely and bad. Like, so bad. Like, to where it was like, I would feel it coming on and be like, oh, here we go with the pain. The discomfort of this, and just like, oh, I have to like sit there and go through it. It was like in Papa's apartment. Just flashes of just, oh, here we go. Here's the the burning sensation or whatever.
Yeah, it's
really
like your body turns into a furnace.
I could just feel like the liquid, like squirting out of my sweat pores. You know.
Yeah. Mine aren't too bad. Like, I'll just get really hot, and then if I sit in front of a fan, I'm fine.
Oh, mine were so uncomfortable. They like, cause it's not only like a hot flash, but you can also feel like a pressure go through you. Like every time a flash would go through you, like a pressure would follow, like your blood pressure changing. You know what I mean? It was like that.
Huh. Yeah.
Trying to remember what they were like again. Yeah, it's just this.
Like, sometimes I'll get it to where I'll start sweating, but the back of my neck feels like it's on fire. Like, it's crazy. But when you touch it, it doesn't feel hot. It just feels hot inside, you know?
Yeah, like the nerves are being told it's hot.
Yeah.
36. Wait, hold on. What? Oh.
Yeah, remember we hung up?
Yeah. Well, we're definitely past an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
And it is almost 3 in the morning.
Oh my god, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Because I was having so much fun doing this, but then I also want to sing, but then... Fuck. So...
Well, can you sing there at 3 in the morning?
Quietly, yeah.
Cool.
Like, the loudness that we're doing this podcast is, like, how loud I sing.
Mm.
So, yeah. Yeah, well, I guess this is the end, and since I'm basically, like, the host of this podcast, I'll, be the one, what word are you, fronting it or something? Hosting it? Leading it, that's what I mean. I'll be the one leading it. So, I'm the leader of this podcast, just so you all know, that's where I am. I'm the leader, and she's the follower. This podcast was my brainchild, but anyway, yeah, so, yeah, we'll end it here because it's been way too long already. I think maybe an hour and a half. I think our last one was an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
Or was it? Let me look. Voice memos.
I think so.
One.
Yeah, you still didn't even post the last one we did.
Oh my god, yeah. Wait, Saturday, wait. Oh. Yeah, I think, yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is the end of the podcast. Sorry that this one was kind of boring because, like...
Boring? I thought this was the most exciting one. We were talking about cryptids and dreams.
It's because we kept, like, talking over each other and, like, things like that. Like, little mess-ups, but, like...
I don't think it was too bad.
Yeah.
I had the most fun on this one.
Really?
I love it. Like, yeah, I love talking about, like, all that creepy shit and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I had fun.
Hell yeah.
And it was such good vibes, like, creepy vibes tonight. Like, I liked it.
Alright. Well, that's the end of this podcast. Me and this bitch will see you in the next one. Bye, bitch.
Bye.